Sweden's wooden city. When we think of a city made entirely out of wood, we probably assume it's the world's biggest urban fire waiting to happen. But Sweden's wooden city isn't a series of shabby wooden shacks. They're using the latest and greatest in tech. Let's take a look. A city made entirely of wood. Scandinavian studios Henning Larsen and White Architecture are teaming up for Stockholm Wood City, aiming to be the world's biggest wood-based project and bring the calm of a forest to the city. This massive wooden city is set to rise in Sickla, Stockholm, and it's being called the world's largest wood city by Atrium Ljungberg, the developer. Sickla is already home to 400+ companies, and the developer thinks of it as a 5-minute city where work, homes, fun spots, and all the needed stuff are just a short stroll away. Stockholm Wood City, covering 250,000 square meters, will pack in 7,000 offices and 2,000 homes. The design magic is happening with Henning Larsen from Denmark and White Architecture from Sweden. This forest-inspired city isn't just about looks. They're adding green roofs for insulation and big windows for natural light, making it a city that's one with nature. It's like they're turning a forest dream into a real cityscape, minimalist and functional. Fire worries, but top fire safety experts are really worried about huge wood buildings popping up globally. They say if a fire starts in a big timber building, it's more likely to spread, making things riskier than in concrete or steel structures. They're stressing the need for consistent skills in designing and building these wooden giants to avoid a disastrous fire. Without proper competency standards for designing mass timber buildings, a poorly designed one could lead to severe consequences in the event of a fire. The outcomes could be catastrophic. Experts are seriously worried about both existing and future buildings made with mass timber. There's a growing concern that, in the rush to adopt mass timber, fire safety is being overlooked and not given the priority it deserves. The speed at which we're moving, according to experts, reflects sheer ignorance, possibly leading us into a zone where risks are taken without careful consideration. However, if done correctly, timber can be perfectly safe. Experts don't see mass timber as inherently risky when it comes to fire safety. Their concern lies in the varying levels of knowledge and skill in using the material, which may result in buildings of subpar quality. It's not a problem rooted in technology or technique. It's fundamentally a matter of competency. Engineered wood products like CrossLaminated Timber consist of layers of wood bonded to form robust panels or beams used in tall building structures. Developed about 3 decades ago, these products are gaining popularity due to timber's ability to absorb large amounts of carbon, significantly reducing the carbon footprint compared to concrete and steel. The good news is that buildings in Sweden's wooden city will use fireproofed mass timber. Engineered wood creates a protective char layer on the surface, retaining much of its structural strength and contributing to a safer structure. Engineered timber burns at a relatively slow and predictable rate too, making it safer than many conventional steel structures. Why timber? While the fire-resistant benefits are great, why are we seeing a shift to timber for construction? People are saying timber is a good choice instead of concrete and steel. It's better for the environment. Big projects usually use concrete and steel, but using wood is a game changer, especially for a mixed-use development like this one. It's a big deal for Swedish innovation. The real estate industry plays a massive role in our planet's greenhouse gas composition because buildings produce a whopping 40% of the world's CO2 emissions. So there's a lot of room for improvement. This project wants to be a positive force in the real estate game, making a good impact now and in the future. They want the people who will live and work here to have a say in how this city district of the future looks and feels. Stockholm Wood City is a big deal for green architecture and city planning because it's the first ever planned wooden city. People talk a lot about using wood for modern buildings around the world, but most finished projects are just one building or a few. Groups like the New European Bauhaus have been pushing for more wooden construction, but old ways of thinking slow things down. Wooden buildings are great for the environment and people's health. Studies say they give better air quality, reduce stress, make people more productive, and trap carbon dioxide while being used. Using wood has other perks too. In 2022, a study in the journal Nature said if we build enough mid-rise timber buildings to house 90% of new city people by 2100, we could cut carbon dioxide emissions by a massive 106 gigatons. Right now, the planet puts out about 40 gigatons of CO2 every year. Choosing wood for construction isn't just about building, it's about helping the planet. Wooden buildings have a smaller impact on the environment during construction and throughout their lives. To make this change have a big impact, we need sustainable timber plantations to avoid harming the forests. Luckily, Sweden is perfect for this, with nearly 70% of its land covered in forests. Wooden buildings are recyclable. You can use them again or turn them into something else, making the most out of the wood fiber we have. This wood is also going to be sourced from sustainable forests. In these forests, the carbon released when trees are harvested is balanced out by what's absorbed during regrowth. That means these forests don't add extra carbon to the air. Wooden products, like solid wood and paper, can hold onto carbon for a really long time, decades or even centuries. Studies show that using wood not only helps the planet, but also makes people feel better, and building with wood is quicker and quieter. This project is more than just using wood though. It brings a bunch of other good things for the environment. They're focusing on offices to cut down on commutes around Stockholm, saving time for more people. In a country where saving energy is a big deal, this project plans to make its own energy and share it. But details on the exact energy plan are sparse. Stockholm Wood City aims to be a game changer in construction, focusing on using resources wisely and creating a cycle of materials that help the environment. The goal is to be a leader in innovation, just like other top industries in Sweden. They're starting the project in 2025, and the first buildings should be done by 2027. Even though this timeline is pretty ambitious, they're not rushing the project. They're taking it step by step because they want to learn as they go, picking up new insights in each phase that they can use in the next one. By doing it this way, they're set to learn a whole lot more on a large scale. Their main plan is to create big, connected areas. This way, they can make diverse and enjoyable places where people want to be, not just a single building. Stockholm Wood City won't just have homes and workplaces, it's going to have restaurants and shops too. Atrium Ljungberg teamed up with many architecture offices, especially in Stockholm. In 2020, they worked with 3XN on the winning design for a new office building in District 15. Similar to Stockholm Wood City, there's also a proposal for an all-timber neighborhood in Copenhagen by Henning Larsen. Both projects are reshaping how we see sustainable living and environmental principles. This project is part of a wave of big wooden projects happening now, including one in Toronto, featuring designs by Ajay Architects, Alison Brooks Architects, and Henning Larsen. Other projects. Wooden buildings have been reaching new heights recently, with tall timber skyscrapers popping up in countries like Norway, Switzerland, and Australia. In Norway, north of Oslo, the Mjøstarnet Tower became the world's tallest timber building in 2019, standing at 280 feet. It's an 18-story structure with apartments, offices, and a fittingly named wood hotel. Besides putting a small town on the world map, it's proof that timber can be a sustainable alternative to concrete and steel. The amazing achievement happened because of a special wood called CrossLaminated Timber, or CLT. This wood, part of a group known as mass timber, is made by sticking laminated wood strips together at right angles and then squeezing them into huge beams or panels under a lot of pressure. These towering wooden structures, nicknamed ply scrapers, used to be just ideas from designers. But now, with changes in building rules and more acceptance of wood, these ideas are turning into real buildings. Switzerland is also in on the action with a project called Rocket and Tigerly. It includes 4 buildings, one of them reaching a whopping 100 meters or 328 feet. Construction kicks off in January 2024, and it's set to finish by June 2027. So let us know in the comments below what you think about Sweden's wooden city. Are timber structures the future? Subscribe for more if you like our content, and check out more of our videos.